to do a book review of Aces High. This is a book from the EC box sets by Russ Cochran. Brilliant series. I just love this book. I've got quite a lot of them. I haven't got all of them. I've got virtually all of them other than the horror ones and also the westerns and also Moon Girl ones. But these ones, Aces High, this was part of a box set of 4. So this was obviously, I'm going to do the other ones later. So go through Aces High. Aces High, the stories were all predominantly set in World War One. Some of the later stories, issue 5, because a few letters came in saying, why don't you do stories in World War Two? And those sort of things. And I would assume others, obviously other wars as well. They could have covered a lot more wars than that. However, obviously World War One was the predominant story. You had some short stories here, or this one's editor's comments about new trend, and you got the initial story. And all the best artists were all used. So you got George Evans, I love that. Great story there. And you got another one, obviously Wally Wood. So you got a Wally Wood story there, The Outsider. Now this is all in black and white, with the covers being in colour. So you've got the colour covers. So you've got the colour cover there, Aces High, that's issue 2. And it's quite a decent sized book. You can see it's quite, and they're really, really sharp, really beautifully. So this is a B Krigstein, I would say, without actually looking at they often, which is something that many comics didn't do. They didn't put who the artist is. B Krigstein. So you've got the artwork there. Revenge. Gives it a bit of weight, doesn't it? Revenge. He also had sometimes articles there or short stories, etc. So a low-flying Bristol fighter, plane swooper. I have no idea all the different types of planes, First World War or Second World War, to be honest. But the stories are fine. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd rushed to read them multiple times. I'm not a particular fan of war comics. So, but it's still nice that they did these stories. And there hasn't been many comics. There's like Enemy Ace comes to mind, Phantom Eagle. I'm certain there's a few others as well that have done stories about, and I'm certain there's lots of weird war tales and all those sort of magazines that have had stories about planes and things. But there's not that many, I don't think, particularly about planes, which is strange. Footnote, this one is, that's a brilliant bit of art. Jack Davis, that's superb. Jack Davis, so you've got a brilliant bit of Jack Davis there. Again, another story there. Now, another thing I like about these books, and I think it's just great, one, like I said, the artwork is as sharp. Though sometimes you don't. Now, I don't think this book has any of those, but sometimes you get some pages where they obviously haven't got the original first, whatever they use, proofs that they had. So they just got page from the comic. So it's never as good. But you can really tell the difference. You see it and it looks a lot worse. But this, I think, is as, short of getting the original comic pages. And, of course, you got the IDW artist editions with all those. So I expect they are better. I think the artist editions with the original artwork better than this. But still, I think this is really super, super sharp. And of course, you've got the Fantagraphic series. I think there was an Aces High book that came out, obviously a smaller one, but I think they're quite sharp as well. So they're really good. But I like the essays in here. This one's got Larry Stark, and he's actually criticised. There's lots of comments about the thing, which is nothing wrong, of course. It's good that, and it suggests various books that maybe that they should have checked out. Obviously, this is back in the day, saying all the various reprinted, like in Wings, this magazine that was Wings. And of course, there was vast amounts of material of all these stories. So you've got this one, Falcons of France by Nordoff and Hall, as well as Blaze of Noon. But basically, Chris and me is saying it could be better, and maybe it would have been. So this only went for 5 issues. 5 issues. They didn't. I think that they, personally, I've always felt that they made a mistake. But of course, that was a decision. Obviously, Bill Gaines, they obviously decided to make for whatever reason. But they could have continued. Maybe the sales weren't great. I don't know. But it's just a pity because I'm certain these comics, given time, given 20, 25, 30 issues, it would have found a real, I'm certain that they would have become very, very, very good and would have spread their quotes, wings to a lot more different stories, and I'm certain it would have been an infinitely better magazine comic. See, I love these as well. Another thing that they always include, they got the letters pages, prop wash. I don't even know what that means, I have to say. But however, you got the letters, and virtually all of them are saying how wonderful it is. Please continue stories about World War I air races. For a change of pace, maybe put in a few World War II stories. And it does say, like say, issue 5. I'm one of EC fans who does not think your new direction, blah, blah, blah. So you've got lots of different opinions, of course, at the time. But I'm certain that if they've gone beyond 5 issues is not many. How many comics nowadays last 5 issues or 10 issues? And you got an advert there for thinking again more stories, and there's the whole mix of different artists in this one. This one is Jack Davis again. Now I should be able to identify the artists instantaneously. I am not very good at that. However, I love the just brilliant. This book is just worth it just for the covers. Just having those. Now I'd love to see. I don't know why no one's ever brought one out. An EC collection of all these covers in this size, because clearly you could bring this out. That would be brilliant. I don't know how many comics they brought out of EC. If it's 500, be a big thick sort of book of all these covers. Honestly, I don't know how many issues they brought out of EC. Maybe it wasn't 500, a couple hundred. So you've got these classic stories, and down to Wally Wood. I always love Wally Wood's work. Absolutely brilliant. Novice and the Ace. That's a lovely. Home Again. Jack Davis. Jack Davis I think is just really brilliant. I love that. Sacre Bleu. One of the characters. That's got a nice twist at the end as well. So Ace is high, and you've got some more great stories all the way through Ordeal. And again, Wally Wood, and you can tell obviously it changes a bit. You've got the Ordeal story, and it's just beautiful. This is a beautiful volume. I love the box sets. Box sets, if you can find copies of these box sets, because they're quite a few years ago, 1988 now. So I would definitely recommend them. I'm just going to quickly show you so you can see the binding there. And the gutter and everything. It's just brilliant. So that's Aces High. Absolutely. Sorry, if you love stories about World War I, I'm certain you will find this of interest. Also, obviously, a little bit of World War II as well. If you're not particularly into war, I still think the artwork is superb. I love just looking at the artwork, as well as the stories, of course, are pretty good as well. But anyway, totally recommended. Definitely worth, I think, checking out. Aces High.